Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Suspects in disappearance of politician daughter and mother charged. Reactions pouring in for death of musical icon Ibo Cooper. And later in sports, Reggae Boys advance quarterfinals of CONCACAF Nations League. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here are the details. The suspects in the disappearance of Member of Parliament Phillip Paulwell's daughter and her mother have been charged and are now before the Home Circuit Court. This is in relation to the disappearance of 10-month-old Sahara Paulwell and her mother, 27-year-old Tashna Patterson. The suspects appeared this morning via voluntary bill of indictment.
We are now satisfied by the overwhelming evidence secured that both Tashina Patterson and her 10-month-old baby, Saraya, were brutally murdered and their bodies burned and disposed of. Charges in relation to the investigations have been preferred as follows. Leoda Vanessa Bradshaw, 34 years old, petty officer in the U.S. Navy. She was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, 2 counts of kidnapping, 2 counts of murder. Roland Lloyd Balfour, 30 years old, assistant graphic designer of 67 Commission Road, Kingston 2. He was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, misprision of felon. Roshane Miller, 29 years old, AC technician of 1B Camperdown Road, Kingston 16. He was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, and misprision of felon. Richard Brown, OC Richie, OC Gorilla, 31 years old, graphic designer of 2 Campden Road, Kingston 16. He was charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnapping, and 2 counts of kidnapping.
The infant and her mother are believed to have been abducted from their home in St. Andrew on Saturday, September 9, and we'll have more on this developing story in Primetime News at 7. A shooting on John Street in Kingston has resulted in the death of a woman. TVJ News understands that her 3-month-old daughter is battling for life at hospital. Head of the Kingston Central Police, Superintendent Beresford Williams, says 3 other persons were also hospitalized. The incident happened sometime after 7 last night.
2 men traveling in a white Nissan motorcar opened gunfire on a group of persons who were gathered along John Street, vicinity number 13. Resulting from the shooting, 5 persons, including a 3-month-old child and her 18-year-old mother, Kevanique McLeod, were shot and injured.
The police are maintaining a strong presence in the area.
The men who carried out the attack escaped in the said Nissan motorcar. I am appealing to the residents to come forward and to give us any information they have to aid our investigation. I wish to assure the citizens in Almontown that we will continue to maintain our presence in the space with a view of preventing any further incident.
The St. James Public Health Department is concerned about the lack of adherence to dengue preventative measures. The concern was raised at the latest St. James Municipal Corporation's meeting. In September, the St. James Public Health Department inspected 12,490 premises, but Acting Chief Public Health Inspector for the parish, Sharika Lewis, says a number of them had mosquito breeding sites.
Of this total, 1,836 were found to be breeding mosquitoes. Among the premises inspected, there were 42,529 containers that were seen on these premises, and 3,891 of these containers were found to be breeding mosquitoes.
Additionally, Ms. Lewis says 73 communities were inspected and 21 fogged. 14 schools were also fogged, but with the country facing a dengue outbreak, there are major concerns.
The Aedes index for the month of September is 15%. And one of our other monitoring tool for mosquito control is a BRA2 index, which indicates the number of containers found to be positive for mosquito breeding compared to the number of premises that were inspected. And this is 31, which is way beyond the acceptable standard of less than 25.
Going forward, the number of temporary workers will be increased by 80. The municipal corporation also donated 5 fogging machines to assist.
We continue to encourage persons in how to treat their water holding containers. They are to cover with a tight lid, because the female mosquito, she will lay her eggs above the surface of water holding containers, whether they are wet or dry. So we want to encourage persons in the proper management of these water storage containers.
Meanwhile, the St. James Health Department is getting set to launch a safe food program to address the gaps in street food vending.
We see what's happening within the public sphere, where certain behavior practices were highlighted. And just to say that St. James, we were on the ball from way before this. But this now will give us more traction to implement what we would have introduced.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Exceptional, a musical talent and a titan. Those were just some of the words used to describe veteran musician and educator Michael Ibo Cooper, who died at the age of 71 years old.
A younger Michael Ibo Cooper doing what he loved and did best. His musical prowess taking full flight when he co-founded the Grammy-nominated and internationally acclaimed reggae band Third World in 1973 with Stephen Cat Core.
Ibo was also a part of Inner Circle, an accomplished keyboard man and singer, songwriter, band member. His group has pretty much conquered the world.
The group went on to make hits like 96 Degrees in the Shade, Try Ja Love, Now That We Found Love, among others. Ibo's contribution to the band's success over the years cannot be understated.
The legacy is unmatched. Really, really big loss to our fraternity. And I know we say these things as cliche, but we're talking about a titan and a giant.
He took his love for the music to the classroom. The Edna Manley College of the Performing Arts is where he imparted his knowledge to hundreds of budding musicians.
He has allowed so many talented youngsters to really achieve their potential through his efforts as a teacher at Edna Manley. There's so much that one can say about Ibo.
His world came crashing when he lost his son Ibo Cooper in March of this year, and more recently when the love of his life and wife of many years, Joy, passed away. She was to be buried on October 20, but now the Cooper family are mourning not only the loss of a mother and grandmother, but now father and grandfather. Prime Minister Andrew Holness hailed Ibo as a true cultural ambassador, while opposition leader Mark Golding said Ibo had a great sense of humor. The Jamaica College Old Boys Association lauded Ibo for always taking the time to educate and mentor younger musicians, while for Culture, Entertainment and Gender Minister Olivia Babsy-Grange, he gave tremendous service to the ministry in an advisory capacity in the area of music. Tributes have also been pouring in from fans around the world. Michael Ibo Cooper died on October 12. He was 71.
Suffer no more, he's in a better place. Rest in peace and keep playing those keys, Ibo. Salute.
Carrie Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
Scotia Investments Jamaica Limited has raised $450 million Jamaican dollars in debt capital for T. Geddes Grant Distributors Limited. This was done by way of a private placement of notes. The funds will be used to support T. Geddes Grant's plans to build out an additional warehousing facility. It says the new infrastructure will position the company to increase its competitiveness, consolidate market share, and improve efficiencies. Further afield, consumer price inflation increased more than expected last month. That's according to data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Price increases remained elevated as year-high gas prices kept inflation up and heaped more pressure on consumers. The Consumer Price Index jumped 3.7% for the 12 months ended in September, slightly above economists' expectations. Consensus estimates were for a 3.6% rise, which would have been a slight decline from August's 3.7% gain. On a monthly basis, inflation rose 0.4%. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Shane Masters.
Thank you, Shane. Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the Trinidad police seized over $73,000 worth of cocaine believed to be destined for Antigua and Barbuda. According to reports, on October 11, a team of officers intercepted a package with car parts destined for Antigua. A scan of the cargo revealed a package containing 363 grams of cocaine. On the international scene, a teacher has been killed and 2 people have been seriously injured in a knife attack at a school in France. Police have since arrested the attacker. According to eyewitness, he shouted Allahu Akbar, which means God is greatest, during the attack. The suspect was a Russian-born Chechen and former student of the high school where the attack happened. He was on a watch list of people known as a potential security risk in connection to radical Islamism. And 7 people have died after a crowded minivan driven by a suspected people smuggler overturned in Germany. More than 20 migrants, including some children, are thought to have been in the van. The driver attempted to evade police at a road check before losing control. The accident happened amid a rise in people smuggling, which has led several Central and Eastern European countries to impose border checks. And those are the top regional and international stories. I'm Carrie Ann Simpson.
We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report with Jermaine Brown.